Okay, following last week where we spoke a bit about the Parsha on Tuesday, I wanted to do that again. Yesterday ended up being a really special day. We had the yard site of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and it was also the day we finally moved our base medrash from the old base medrash to the new one. The process has been taking 5 years and ended up being crazy. So I underestimated the amount of work that would be required for that and didn't get a chance to focus on certain other things, which was hard, but it's the next day, so keep moving. I wanted to talk a bit about the Parsha and connect it to something I saw from the Rebbe from this book from Jonathan Sachs, where he takes Kutei Sichos, Rav Jonathan Sachs, and he put them together in a Parsha anthology. It's a cool book. I actually got it at the Ohel, so it's connected to the yard site. The Rebbe talks about the meaning of the name of the Parsha, which is always a big theme in the Chayinus. I don't know if people know what that is, but those colorful booklets that are distributed in Crown Heights, and they also make their way to the whole world, it seems, if you have a subscription, and thank God I've been able to get them in Israel due to the Lone Soldier Foundation, Morty Bonix, I think it's called Chayal Chayal. Anyways, so there's always a thing about the Parsha and the name of the Parsha, and there's a big, it's a big theme, it's a big deal. It's not just like the first word or the second word. It means like this is connected to the panemius of what's going on in the Parsha. And anyways, let's talk about it. So this past week's Parsha was Korach, and Korach was, a person that tried to do something, and he ended up creating a divide, and he got swallowed whole, and it's not like a great thing. So why was he given the name? Why does his name become the name of the Parsha? And what's the meaning behind it? And also the Rebbe brings down that there's a connection between the beginning and the end of the Parsha, because the name is the whole theme. There's a connection between what starts and how it ends. And the beginning of the Parsha talks about this division that Korach causes. Vayikach Korach. Unglis translates that it's a division. It's not he took, but he divided himself. And the end of the Parsha is where the kahuna is like reinforced and given all these gifts, things that strengthen the ability for the Kohanim to do the work that they need to do. So there's a connection, but also it's like seems to be in a different direction. Another piece that was troubling the Rebbe that I saw was troubling the Rebbe, but there's a question that Korach's claim is weird. It's he's saying that everyone should be holy and everything should be good. At the same time, he's fighting with Moshe. He wants the kahuna, he wants the priesthood, he wants the leadership. He's saying that they're not doing the right thing. So it's like confusing about what he's trying to do and what ends up happening. So there was a few different angles that I wanted to look at this from. Firstly, the Rebbe brings down that it was through the division of Korach that the kahuna was strengthened. It was through this argument and through this thing that, first of all, Aaron, his stick, was able to sprout, and this was included within the Mishkan in the future. So there was like this new thing that was brought about because of that. And the matanos that were given to the kahuna came about through this division, and that enabled them to do the work that they needed to do. But I also wanted to just point out that it brought about the opportunity to prove certain things, right? It's like an opportunity when there was a challenge here, like Moshe was saying to the Bnei Yisrael, it's like, you'll see that this was me that was appointed to do this stuff, right? Korach was challenging Aaron, but really it's a challenge on the whole leadership. It's on Moshe. It's on who is this guy Moshe? What's going on? And these are things that hadn't been addressed, which I'm sure were really sticking out in people's minds. It's like, what's this? This guy grew up in Paro's house, and then he left for 40 years. Who the heck knows what he was doing? And now he's going to be the one that's taking us. And it's like these things that have to be going through people's minds. And Korach really brought it to the forefront and enabled to see that, yes, this is it. I'm saying, we see a lot of miracles that came about and through Moshe, but now we can see this is Dafka. Moshe said, uses his opportunity to show that he's the person that's doing this. He didn't ask for it. He didn't choose it. It's a responsibility. And you also see leadership and just the quality of Korach. If you're trying to be a leader, you can't be the leader. It's just not how it works. It's like with the Rebbe didn't for a full year just pushed away being the leader of Chabad. He didn't want it at all. I always thought the person that's going to be a leader of a thing has to it's a responsibility. If you understand what being a leader is, you don't want that kind of role. You don't want it, and you needs to be forced on a person. So Korach was just missing the point, but it was also at the same time an opportunity for all this good to come about and to re-strengthen our belief in Moshe, who's our connection with the Torah, and he's given us the light of the Torah. So it's just it's a way of seeing that the division brought about the connection that we really needed in the end. And also, the last thing I wanted to point out was just like to stick around good people. Everyone around Moshe and was uplifted, and they all had positions of real special positions within the service of Hashem. So if there's something that's a nekuda that's really special about a person, and you can attach yourself to it as much as possible, that's this like thing of being close to a tzaddik. It affects you and it uplifts you, and the more you can connect to something like that, the better off you yourself will be. And so it's like people that stuck around the Rebbe or anyone that was involved with the service of Tzivos Hashem, all these different operations that he had were uplifted and reached positions of real, not power, but power, and just did special things. So the more you can connect to a mission that has specialness and a special person and a special connection with Hashem, the better off you are. And have a good week. Peace and love.